Welcome to the i-eXam. We here episode 5. This is the first time we are actually recording this at the same time we are streaming live on Instagram, wherever you at, wherever you listening. Welcome to the i-eXam. We back, baby. We bold, we biblical, and we all the way about that life. How you doing, baby girl?
I'm good.
You good?
I just realized that people probably think we're crazy because we're like dancing and they don't hear any music.
That's fine, because if you like, well, first and foremost, there's nobody watching like right now.
I mean, if you watch it, you're
in the
gonna
future.
See.
Just know that we was listening to music
We were dancing,
like that whole time.
but there was no music.
It wasn't even really a dance. It was like a bounce. It was a livened bounce, if you will. No, we not doing it.
Yo, I had that song stuck in my head so hard.
I need you to get it unstuck for the next 44 minutes.
It's your fault because you didn't even listen to the radio this
It is not my fault. I will not take the blame for that. And first of all, that was your daughter who asked to listen to the radio. Speaking of such, man, we just finished a big old weekend of like birthday celebration for our youngest daughter.
Yes.
Our youngest daughter, she turned 4. I would do all that cute happy birthday baby girl stuff, but she's not really listening to this podcast. Well, she will when we finish.
I mean, even if she does listen, it doesn't matter.
I think we did enough celebrating.
That girl had 3 different dinners out.
She did, didn't she? Hold on, what's the first one you cut? Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings on Saturday.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, we went to Samurai.
Right.
And then on Monday, we didn't eat out yesterday, but we went out tonight.
Okay, first of all, you need to stop.
Happy birthday.
You got to stop putting all our business out there for these people who think we rich. We're not rich. We're just really poor stewards of our money. Is what that is.
I mean, I didn't say that, he did. But
what? That we poor stewards?
I'm not a poor steward. You got to speak life into your situation.
Okay, let's go.
And telling everybody you're a poor steward is speaking not life.
Speak life, not lies. That's the new motto right here. Speak life, not lies.
Speak life, not
Jesus'
lies.
name. Ooh. Hold on, you got interrupted already. What do you want?
They're upstairs. They went to their room.
Okay, went to the room. That's good.
And look, you still live.
I know we still live. They can see. This is the behind the scenes right here. You get the behind the scenes. Recording this thing is not easy.
It's not cute
at
either.
all. It's not cute. All these little burgers running around our house because half the time they still be awake when you're recording.
Are you on there recording?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Stop. I stopped right when we was talking about.
Yeah. Buffalo Wild Wings. No.
We was talking
birthday.
About life not lies, right? That was that. Okay.
Yeah.
Life not lies. Life. Yeah. We trying to be better stewards though. But nonetheless, we had a bunch of birthday celebrations for the now 4-year-old baby girl. And that was an adventure because she's also the only one of my children with an allergy. And
yes.
Some stuff I didn't encounter some interesting allergies, right? Little babies from church is allergic to strawberries. I ain't heard of that before.
Yeah, strawberries. No, it was like fruit too. No, it was just strawberries.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it seemed like an inconvenient allergy to have.
I love strawberries.
Strawberries are dope.
They're missing out.
They alright.
However, I also love eggs.
Yeah, so
and cakes.
Our baby is allergic to eggs, which was an unfortunate way that we found out. We found out the hard way.
We gave her eggs.
That's the hard way.
I mean, how was I supposed to know she couldn't eat eggs?
Hey, you ain't wrong.
She was
baby.
eating.
Woo! Oh man, that was frightening right there. That's terrifying. So we sitting there trying to record this podcast on at the same time that we're streaming live on Instagram, and my phone was like, nah, we're not doing that, and it just hopped out the tripod. It tried to assault me. The one person watching right now is probably saying, hold on, is that you, babe? No. Hey, buddy. Okay. Passionate Pursuit podcast. Okay. Welcome. How you doing? Nonetheless, what we doing here is talking about how we found out our baby
has an egg allergy.
Has an egg allergy.
We gave her eggs.
How we didn't realize how many things contain eggs in them.
Yes, so many things. It's terrible.
That's
like
terrifying.
Eggs contains eggs, scrambled eggs.
Of course, eggs has eggs in it, but
cake,
also things
cookies.
All them
muffins.
baked goods. So you don't realize how hard it is to celebrate a 4-year-old's birthday party who has an egg allergy until you gotta celebrate a 4-year-old birthday who got an egg allergy. We had to drive all the way to Wynwood, Miami, which doesn't sound far if you familiar with Miami, because like that's in the heart of Miami, but we not in the heart of Miami.
No.
We like in the outskirts of Miami, right? So we driving out there to get. First of all, we scouted it out before we went to get it, right?
Like I googled vegan cupcakes.
Which don't even sound fun, by the way.
It sounds, yeah.
Can we pause for a moment and talk about, hey, vegans, why don't y'all like fun?
I think that's not fair.
It's not. It's not.
You don't know why they're
vegan. That was a
vegan.
sweep in general. But like, I don't know. A lot of I shouldn't say that because there's lots of vegans I know who's real like chill about it. But I know some really aggressive vegans. Like they not content just being vegans. They want me to be like vegan too. They want me to feel bad about not being a vegan, which is it's a fool's errand because meat is delicious. Like if God didn't want us to eat animals, then why are they made of meat? That's my question.
Wait, what?
If God didn't want us to eat animals, why are they made of meat? It's delicious.
Wait.
Hey,
I don't know what's going on there. Yo, but anyways, vegans.
What's going on, Pastor Breezy Curtis? What's going on? Welcome to the.
Up? Yo, no, but for real, have you seen that meme? It's this guy who goes around making like videos about loving meat and like him being aggressive with his meat. Like
Wait,
vegans.
stop! This is a family podcast. What are you talking about?
No, that not meat like that.
Okay,
meat
okay,
like
all right.
ribeye.
Okay. Oh, you talking about a little redheaded dude?
Yeah, he's a redheaded guy, and he goes around like, and then he goes and hits the people's salad. He's like, "How dare you? Plants' lives matter." And it's like
exactly
super
what
funny.
you're talking about, and I can relate. But nonetheless, let's get back to the task at hand.
So yeah, we were going to Wynwood.
To the vegan bakery,
Which
right?
is beautiful, by the way. It's so beautiful.
It is. It's also like not a trip I'm gonna take too often because it's really out my budget.
Far.
It's out, well, not even that. Just
it's
like everything out there. It's not made for people like me. Like we talked about eating out 3 times over the weekend. It wasn't like we went to like Ruth's Chris every time. It was like Texas Roadhouse with a little free wooden token so your kids can eat free. We did that. We absolutely did that. We all the way about that life.
Yes. They were like, "Hey, you want your kids to do an activity?" We're like, They were like, "You get a free meal." We're like, "Yes,
absolutely.
You are definitely
Send the
doing
kids
that
to
activity."
The activities. What you need? You need your toes done.
What
we
you
was ready.
need to do?
We was ready. Like the kids is doing these activities. It's how it goes. They said free meal, and the kids we shipped them off immediately.
Very much so. And they brought us back to our table. We know where they went. Don't do that. It makes us sound like bad parents. We know where they went. They were in the little corner.
I'm a phenomenal parent. Most of the time.
Okay.
So
Wynwood, we went to Wynwood because we found this place called Bunny Cakes, who does vegan cupcakes, vegan bakery. They do everything: cupcakes, donuts, cookies. And she was rated the #1 cupcake in Miami, and she also won Cupcake Wars on Food Channel.
Oh, that's aggressive, man.
I was like, okay, I'm not really down for vegan food. However, if you won Cupcake Wars on Food Channel, your cupcakes must be pretty good, right? You would think. So we went out there, and I spent $24 on 3 cupcakes. No.
Hey,
no,
that's not that big of an exaggeration.
It is an exaggeration.
It's not that big of an exaggeration.
But it's not that big.
It's pretty close.
I spent $24. No, I spent $16 on 6 miniature cupcakes. Miniature, guys. Like, I mean, like, pop in your mouth, you're done. That's it. Yeah. However, it was good. It tasted vegan-y.
And most importantly, our baby got to enjoy cake for her birthday.
Yes, she was super excited. She got to have cake prior to her birthday while we were scouting it out. And then she also got to have cake during her birthday because we went to Whole Foods, which they sell the bunny cakes there.
First and foremost, can we talk about that? Like, just pause for a moment. Can we talk about Whole Foods and what an experience that is?
Well, it was definitely an experience for me. I've never been to Whole Foods.
I've been to Whole Foods once. This is my second time ever being there, but I really feel like I need a passport to go to Whole Foods. Like, it does not feel like,
I don't feel like I can afford anything in there. Like, it just looked expensive. I mean, no, I can afford it. I'm not gonna sell my shelf short. I can afford it. However, do I want to pay $25 for the farm fresh whatever wild caught salmon? I don't know what the thing is now.
I kind of gotta wonder sometimes about like the whole organic fad and I shouldn't say fad, but
I think it's a sham.
Everything being organic because they got all the samples up in Whole Foods and whatnot. They got all that stuff popping, and one lady in there was sampling like sangria and all sorts of stuff, and I was sitting there like, yo, is organic really an asset if you drink alcohol? Like, does it still count?
What is organic alcohol?
I don't even know. That's
like, is it kosher or something? Like, what's the difference between organic and kosher?
I don't know. Can it get you drunk? Like, I'd imagine, right?
I don't know. I don't drink
is hooch
organic
like is
alcohol.
Prison hooch organic alcohol? I don't
Probably
know.
not. Don't they make that in toilets?
I don't know.
I've never been to prison. I've only seen Orange Is the New Black. I don't know what they be doing. What? I love that show. It's amazing.
Oh man, you ain't never seen Oz or nothing. Just Orange Is the New Black. That shit.
I haven't seen Oz. I gotta go back and watch it. But yeah, Whole Foods. It was quite interesting. It was really busy. I didn't know it would be that crowded or busy. We also had to drive 30 hours to get there too, because they don't have Whole Foods where I live, because apparently the demographic is not shopping at Whole Foods where I live. So.
Yeah, we don't live in the hood, but we might be like
we live hood adjacent.
It's pretty
every now and then we have to wonder, firecracker or gunshot.
Right, and that's like not a fun game to play in the middle.
Especially on the 4th of July. It's really confusing.
I'm fine playing it on the 4th of July. That's a normal time to play that game. It's when like
it's a normal time.
Yeah, I don't like playing that game in September. Like I need I need some insurance. That sound shouldn't be happening.
So yeah, Whole Foods. It was crazy. I ain't never been there. It made me want to shop there maybe a little bit. Not really. No, it didn't.
Not
it didn't at all. I was actually terrified, and I wanted to leave, and I felt out of place. The only people.
Why you felt out of place?
Well, because I look. Well, no, I look Hispanic, but it's not like my type Hispanic there. Like
you gonna mess around and get yourself tripped up because now we got a camera roll. People can see exactly what you look like when we saying this stuff. Right now.
What? I've never like tried to lie about how I look.
Haven't, but they can see you in real time.
Yes, it's terrible. I didn't know we were recording.
You look like you got an excellent credit score right now.
I do have an amazing.
It is decent. It is decent. You have a decent credit score.
Nah, Sway.
I said you have a decent.
Nah, I'm not even gonna drop my numbers like that, but just say it's like
amazing is like
more than 600. More than.
More than 600 is amazing to you. See, this is
mine's like 7-ish.
I know what your credit score is.
I know, but you're trying to clown me.
It's good. It's not amazing.
It's only not amazing because of student loans.
It's only not amazing because it's not amazing.
Child, my mama white. I got good credit. I got good credit.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
She got good credit. If anything, I can always have a cosigner.
Wait, that's
I don't want a cosigner, but like if they ever look at me
that's not a sign of good credit though. You don't need a cosigner if you have great credit.
You're right. I don't know. I'm confused. Move on.
See, the definition of humility is really having an honest and fair evaluation of yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with saying I got a good or a decent credit score, but you're talking about an amazing credit score.
I do have an amazing credit score. No. I have friends who are.
No, you can't grade on a curve. If it's amazing, it's amazing on its own. You don't need to talk about it.
It don't matter. Credits, I don't feel like credit's going to do nothing good for me anyway. Because I tried to buy a house and they were like, oh, look at you. How adorable.
See, okay. You keep telling on yourself, do you have an amazing credit score or are all these stories true? What? I need to know.
It ain't got nothing to do with my credit. I got approved for the loan.
Oh, no.
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 So, our baby has an egg allergy.
She took a hard U-turn. I went like
bring it back.
Egg allergy.
Our baby has an egg allergy, so we went to Wynwood. We went to Whole Foods. Everything was vegan. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't get down with the vegan cupcake, so I went to Nothing Bundt Cake and got myself some regular cake. And my baby enjoyed her vegan cupcakes.
Hey, you throwing people mad business right
with
now.
her brother.
For all 4 of our listeners.
I would love to you guys to sponsor you. Hello, I love Nothing Bundt Cake. I love cake. If you could see me, I look like I love cake.
Why you gonna play yourself like that though?
What?
Everybody loves cake. That's not true.
But I really love cake.
You do.
It's like the 50 Cent song.
You do.
Like a fat boy love cake. But I don't like chocolate cake. Yeah.
You don't like any of the fun cake.
No.
You like boring
I'm very
cakes.
basic. I like funfetti.
Don't call yourself basic. But you are boring. Like you like and like,
I like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, when people call people vanilla as an insult, you are literally vanilla. Like you only rock with vanilla.
Yeah.
And funfetti.
I don't like chocolate. But the cakes I bought.
That's racist.
Shut up. The cakes I bought were lemon raspberry cakes.
It was doing the most though.
It was so good.
It was good. Also doing a lot.
It was super good. It's cute because my other daughter came in today asking can she have the other half of the cake. Like it was still there. Because I bought like little mini ones. Like they were tiny, like this big.
You did, but you know what? We're going to have to continue that conversation after the break. And this word from our sponsors. Today's message.
Is our sponsors?
No, you all the way out your mind. Stop. You have to let the sponsor speak.
Go ahead. Today's message.
Today's message has been brought to you by Wind.
Wind?
Wind, W-I-N-D, happens when, like, I don't know, something about the water temperatures being different than the surface temperatures and then the
It is hurricane
like
season.
Yeah, that's what
Make
brought
sure
us
you
today's
got your
message.
wind insurance.
So, absolutely, wind insurance, all that good stuff.
Yes.
And back to our regularly scheduled programming.
And we're back. So we were talking about Whole Foods and Whole Foods, eggs, credit.
Oh my gosh, you're going to give people a rundown of everything that happened for the break, the fake break we just had.
What else has been going on in our lives? It's a lot. We went to Texas Roadhouse. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so we went to Texas Roadhouse. I know we told you that already. However, their little mascot is the armadillo, right?
Can we pause right there for a moment and just talk about mascots in general?
Like, why
Yeah.
do you need a mascot? Are you a football team?
Whose idea was it that stuffing grown men and women into various costumes was like the move to make? Like, I almost get it for sports teams, kind of, sort of, not really. But why would your restaurant need one? Like, Chuck E. Cheese is creepy enough, but walking into Texas Roadhouse, come on, man, I'm just trying to eat my mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
Get the armadillo out of my face.
It was a giant armadillo, and my son was scared.
Was terrified.
He was crying actual tears.
Yeah. It was embarrassing. It was a bad look.
He had
It was
to
one of
G-check
them-
him.
I did.
He was like, hey, man up.
It was one of those moments where, like, okay, people call me Trey because I'm actually the third. Like, me, my father, my granddaddy got the same first and last name. My son has the same first and last name as me. And in that particular moment, I regretted that. In that moment, I felt like he was making that name, that first and last name combination, like, look bad when he was, like, bawling and screaming about the armadillo.
Terrible person.
No, I'm not. I'm an
I
honest
regret
person.
that your son was named after
I
you.
said in that moment, I'm only a man. I'm a human. I am not infallible.
Yo, the armadillo sat at our table. Ain't nobody asked you to sit with me, son. Like, I don't need you to sit at my
Yeah, the
table. We
armadillo-
were very much chilling without you.
The armadillo's lucky he sat at a Christian table because a lesser man would have tossed them hands. Don't.
And
don't
then
be
you gonna
sitting
touch
here-
my peanuts? Like, what?
All right.
Not
you
like
really got to clarify.
Texas.
You gotta,
Texas Roadhouse puts what
A
are they
bucket
like?
of- a bucket of nuts.
It's a
come on, man. A bucket of peanuts, the actual legume. It's not a fruit or vegetable. It's a legume.
yo.
They put a
Whole
bucket
Foods
of-
has a whole like nuts section.
Okay, we finished talking about Whole
I know,
Foods.
but
Now
we were talking about nuts. That's where it correlated.
Stop it.
Okay, sorry. So yeah,
We
he
sitting
touched
there-
our bucket of nuts, and I was
Yeah.
really offended.
And nobody asked for that mascot to do all that stuff. But here's the thing though, right? It was interesting having to navigate that situation with my son, as he.
He cried tears.
Yeah, he had like an actual
scared.
breakdown,
He was
and he did
super
not
afraid.
take his eyes off that armadillo
the whole time while it was dancing, because apparently they do that in Texas Roadhouse.
But what is our obsession with stuffing people in costumes though? There's like an actual like community built around that stuff, but it's in a sexual manner. Why are we just
called
walking around?
furries.
Yeah, but why I can't go and wait? Can you be a furry if you're an armadillo? That's not a mammal,
I
is
don't.
it?
Anyway,
Is an armadillo a mammal? I feel like it is.
I don't know. When did this turn into a biology class?
Don't worry about it. But that's real life though. That's real life.
The only mascot I rock with is Sebastian, because he's the realest mascot ever.
All right, so full disclosure there, Sebastian the Obvious, the mascot of the University of Miami. I absolutely rock with him because I'm a Cane all the way. Like, I bleed orange and green. However,
There's no however.
there is a however.
No.
Have you seen an ibis, like an actual ibis?
No, yeah, the actual bird is like stupid, but
Sebastian
Sebastian
is not an ibis.
Sebastian is a duck.
That is a duck. That is a duck named Sebastian.
But that is the most gangster duck you would ever meet in your life. Yo, like,
I can agree.
if you ain't never see Sebastian do his thing on a football field, oh my gosh.
Well, that was
Yes.
wavy. He's
Yes.
like, he's definitely a top boy college mascot. That's how it is. I don't care. Don't debate me. Debate your cousin with the ashy elbows. That's how that goes.
Why you gotta have ashy elbows?
Because I don't know why your cousin elbows is ashy. But
You remember when I found that really good lotion for y'all?
Yeah, I do. I appreciate it. It was real life. Nonetheless, there's some really creepy mascots out there. Like Wake Forest, the Demon Deacon. That thing is it's upsetting. It's unsettling. As is the armadillo at Texas Roadhouse. Keep that thing away from me.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat food.
But what?
I have food.
Oh,
at
absolutely.
Texas Roadhouse.
It's
I
a
don't want
restaurant.
to look at y'all. I'm
it's
trying
in
to
the
eat.
It's in the house.
Like, why are you dancing around? You ain't wash your hands. I don't know you. Get off my phone.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he's touching her the stuff and everything.
Ooh.
Our daughter, they sang happy birthdays to her, and they
it's not her
brought
birthday,
out a horse saddle, and they chant saddle up, and they put people. I saw a grown man get on the saddle while they sang him happy birthday, and called him old. They insulted him in his little birthday song.
It's not an insult. They say, I don't know what I've been told. Someone here is getting old. I guess that is kind of insulting.
That's insulting. I ain't coming for this.
It's only insulting if you
Just
actually
give me my
old.
cupcake so I can move on with my life.
Only insulting if you actually old, I suppose.
So it's crazy because we were talking about allergies and stuff like that, and like moving on to like what's actually going on in the world, in the news. I saw this article today. Were you done with that thought? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Sorry. I saw this article today about this girl. She was a teenager and she had a peanut allergy, and she actually ate a cookie, a famous cookie, and
A famous cookie.
like a Chips Ahoy cookie, and it had nuts in it. But she wasn't aware that it had nuts because of the packaging. Like all her life, she knew that the red Chips Ahoy packaging was okay for her to eat.
Mm-hmm.
However, they had packaged this particular cookie was with Reese's peanut butters. It was like a special edition, but they didn't really have good labeling. So she ate the cookie at her friend's house, and she realized instantaneously she was anaphylactic. She was like super allergic. She realized instantaneously that she was having an allergic reaction. Her tongue started tingling. She went home. Her mom and dad gave her both of her EpiPens, and she ended up dying an hour and a half later.
Oh, that's not the move.
And it's just crazy to me because like I have a kid who has allergies.
Yeah.
And I was reading like the mom said like she spent her entire life making sure that her daughter was safe. And for her to go out like that at 15 is just wild to me. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Like, it's
one
crazy.
of the more terrifying aspects of being a parent. Not only like having a kid with an allergy, who we've had to go to the hospital multiple times for scares of that nature because she's anaphylactic and all that stuff, but even beyond the whole allergy thing, just all of the things that you can do to protect or in the best interest of your child, and knowing that at the end of the day that it might not be enough. You know?
It's crazy, man.
Like,
and like our daughter, she's starting school, like public school this year, and it kind of concerns me. Like, how are we going to like safeguard her food? Like, there's so many different elements now. Like, I can't
even
control.
beyond that, like beyond the food element, like it's as if being a parent wasn't scary enough already. Like, remember they had the school shooting earlier this year, right?
Oh yeah.
They had that one, and then the very next week we get a little text about gunshots outside of our oldest daughter's school.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's terrifying. You think about all the stuff that you do, all of the precautions that you take, all the things you do to sow into your children.
And then when they need you, you can't really even be there for them.
Yeah, and even that, just sometimes it's a lapse in your judgment. Sometimes it's something that's beyond your control, but that's terrifying. So
Yeah.
that's interestingly enough one of those things that when you really think about, kind of underscores and highlights the frailty of life. Is something that everybody got to deal with, and it's kind of like unifying in the fact that no matter what you look like, no matter what you believe in, no matter where you at, we all got to deal with that. Especially when it comes to parenting, even if you're not a parent, but you got to deal with the fact that some things are beyond your control. And
dang, we got deep.
did we?
Fast.
That happened.
Yeah, but it was just crazy. That article like really like spoke to me, and it was wild that that could happen to a 15-year-old. She's a teenager. Like, she knew that she was allergic, and it was just like one simple little slip up.
Yeah, man, that's how fragile this thing called life is, man.
It's crazy.
It don't take that long at all, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying to think that could have been one of our babies.
Yeah.
And it's weird that if this same thing were to happen in another instant, and we had this discussion, they would call it politicizing it. Like, if a school shooting were to happen, or another unarmed black boy was murdered, and we said, oh, that could have been our child, they would say, oh, we're politicizing this and everything. But it's a shame that when we look at the frailty of life, when we look at how real that is, and the raw emotions that it invokes, that we could even claim that we're politicizing it. Where are we at as far as a society, as far as a culture where we can't share thoughts like that?
I mean, I think people say they politicize it because it's not affecting them personally.
Yeah.
Like, the moment it hits you at home, that's when you're like, why are we not talking about this?
Yo, I can't remember the dude's name at all, but after the Vegas shooting, there was I think it was one of the people who was actually performing at that concert who went public and said, yo, I've been wrong about this whole Second Amendment issue the whole time, because all of us was holding, all of us had guns back in the trailer, and there's nothing we could have done about it. And it was wild how many people turned on him in that instant, because, like you said, when stuff happens to you, all of a sudden your perspective changes real quick. You can't stand on platitudes anymore. You can't use talking points. When you talk about real life, all of a sudden, a lot of times the tone of the conversation begins to change some.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the whole idea behind empathy is. You shouldn't have to wait for something to happen to you for you to be able to understand a different perspective, a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I feel you. But it's hard, like, I don't know. It's hard sometimes. It's hard to be empathetic when
some people just seem like they being jerks for the sake of it, when really them being a jerk in our eyes is them having a worldview we can't yet identify with.
Yeah, like, so it's hard to be empathetic for people, just like you said, when, it's just them being maybe naive or being, like you said, a jerk. Yeah. Like, my empathy kind of comes in for you when it's something that occurred that you weren't, like, all the way sure that it was wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
know what I mean?
So, like when somebody does you wrong.
Okay.
And you should be upset with them.
Yeah.
But there's some sort of, like, peace with, even though that you were wrong, there's some sort of peace in it. Like, God granted you that peace.
Yeah.
And you empathize with the other person because you understand that they did you wrong because they were also hurt, or something's going on in them that they didn't understand, or they couldn't connect with you at that point to realize that what they were doing was hurting you.
Right.
So it's easier to be empathetic like that than if you just being a jerk because you a jerk. Like, what?
That's you describing a level of, I guess, maturity that's a lot easier spoken about and said than done in practice. So that's something, that runs all throughout, not only like old mama teaching, like big mama teaching, but even the Bible, where it talks about forgiveness, and it's a concept that's so misunderstood. When a lot of times people think that, like, us forgiving people means that we're letting them off the hook, when forgiveness is really about letting yourself off the hook.
Yeah, because it'll eat you alive. Like,
not forgiving somebody, yeah, absolutely, will
yeah,
tear you up more than it will them.
Like, God forgave the Israelites several times. It's crazy. Like, as many times as He forgave those people.
Yeah, but at the same token, that's what love does. Think about all the crazy things that, like, your kids have done. They done broke laptops, broke bones, broke my bank account, all sorts of things. When you love somebody, you extend that forgiveness, and not it's not something that you hang over their head for forever. It's something that, like, look, this happened. It was inconvenient or it hurt me. How do we move past this? Is what forgiveness. That's how forgiveness starts. It's not even all forgiveness, but it's definitely a process. But ooh, this definitely got deeper, quicker than I needed it to.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
It is, man.
Whew. Did you see our well, not, I guess not our, but the president was in Russia? Oh, it was in Russia. Was he in Russia or was he somewhere else? I just caught.
He was in Finland, and
yeah,
luckily,
but he met with Vladimir.
Luckily, you brought this up just in time for the next word from our sponsor. We'll be back after this short message.
Is it the Holy Spirit again?
And there it was, a word from our sponsor. That sponsor was the Holy Spirit. If you did not hear it, you are not saved yet. We gave you a warning last week. Hit us up at info@rfxmovement.com. By the way, while we're sitting there jotting down email addresses and everything, go ahead and click that little subscribe button wherever you're listening at. Subscribe, follow. If you want SoundCloud, hit the follow button. If you're listening on iTunes, go ahead subscribe.
If you want Google Play.
If you want Google Play, we everywhere. You ain't never there.
If you Team Android.
Team Android.
So,
yeah.
I'm Team Android. I used to be Team iPhone. However,
that was before you knew Jesus.
It was though, like
was.
for real. But they bring out too much products too often, and they updates be slowing people down.
Hey, but truth be told, Android headed down the same path. But yo, let's get to this real quick. Let's get to some word real quick. Can we give them the word real quick?
Yeah.
All right, yo. So I heard this interesting sermon this past Sunday from Pastor Arthur at the Refuge Church, where it talked about making and honoring. What was that the title right there? Making and honoring your commitment, making and keeping your commitment. Talked about Romans chapter 12, the first couple of verses right there, right? Where Paul says that I plead with you, I urge you to make yourselves a living sacrifice, right? And then Romans 12:2 is another dope verse right there. It says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to discern God's will, which is good, pleasing, and perfect for you and everything. But the whole crux of that message right there,
Look
right?
at you.
What I do?
Look at you. Quoting scripture.
Yeah, that's my job. Don't do it like
Top of your
that.
head.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, the whole idea behind the message was the idea of a living sacrifice, right? The trouble with that phrase is that a living sacrifice can always move. That's what you're saying. Meaning that you can always take it back, you know. I've been to church so many times. Yeah, you could be an Indian giver. Think about all the times you see people go up to the altar every single Sunday crying in tears like their life has been transformed. And it's not an insult. If you need something, you need something. But think about all the people who feel jaded by their walk with Jesus because they feel like each and every bit of progress they make is met by even bigger setbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, like
in terms of growth, like, oh, okay, I'm feeling this is going to be different. This time is going to be different. I'm going to get my life together. Only for them to repeat all of the same mistakes and the same.
God's going to keep testing you.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. But at the other end of that spectrum is the fact that some of that's on us. You know, when the whole concept of a living sacrifice means that you have to make the choice. If you're going to give it to God and leave it on the altar, you got to leave it there for him. You can't take it back like, oh, no, not yet.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, you said it's up to us. So, we are supposed to die to our flesh daily.
Daily.
Like, that's hard.
It is.
That's hard. How you
All the way hard. Man, I don't even... Can we talk about what we mean by that, though? When you say, like, how dying to the flesh daily and what that means?
It means, well, to me, it means, like, I do God's will, not my will.
Right. Let's give a concrete example, though, right? Like, remember that marriage retreat we went to earlier this year? Yeah, right? The third marriage retreat we've been to in the past year and a half. And you remember...
What you getting at here?
how like we was in the middle of the marriage retreat, supposed to be all booed up, cued up, all that stuff, and then we was just like at each other's throat for like the silliest thing. Like, you didn't like the way I said cross the street, something like that. We for real.
Yeah, it was rude. It was rude.
It was.
It was so
we don't
rude.
have
so
to
rude.
relitigate this. We don't have to do that. You the feds. All right. But nonetheless,
I'm
though,
the people.
you the feds. You the feds. Absolutely.
I am the people.
No, stop it.
I'm a military reporter. Go ahead.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Stop it. But nonetheless, right? We found ourselves still dealing with the same issues that we deal with on a regular basis, and it seemed like, yo, this deep into this relationship, we ain't been married that long, like 5 years, right? Like, we shouldn't be dealing with this. And I think that dying to the flesh means that when we have those urges to sit there and just be at each other for the pettiest stuff, means that we have to make a conscious decision each and every time we get to that place to sit there and decide that we're going to ignore our own impulse to fight for ourselves, if that makes sense. Like, when you die to your flesh daily, it means that each and every impulse you have that is only to gratify yourself, it isn't for anybody else's edification, it's not making the world a better place, you have to kill that.
Can you explain what edification means for those who do not know? That's a big word.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know what edification means, but like, some people
Can you explain edification?
No, go ahead. I didn't say it. You said it.
When I say that, I mean, think about the fact that our job, right? If I'm a Christian and I believe in the Great Commission and go out and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, all this stuff. When you talk about making disciples, it means that everything I do should be in order to help somebody else grow. Specifically in this situation in Christ. And a lot of times when me and you,
I don't want to talk about me and you.
But no, let's do it real quick. Let's do it. Let's put it
Okay,
out
go ahead.
When me and you get to arguing, we both got our own points and everything, but at the end of the day, we don't argue to build each other up a lot of times. We argue to be right. Does that make sense? Yes? No?
Yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
I'm dying to flesh.
Right now. You want to
dying
argue
to my
with me
flesh.
right now. You got to die to flesh,
I'm dying
right?
to my flesh.
So, but the fact of the matter
That ain't what be happening, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Is absolutely what
Die
happens.
to the flesh, go ahead.
But okay.
Your point.
So we talk about dying to the flesh. That means you have to make a conscious decision to sometimes do what in that moment will make you unhappy.
Yeah, like when I don't want to go to the gym, but I know deep down I should. Is it dying to the flesh when I'm going and I'm like, I don't want.
Why you got to bring up old stuff?
Because I pay for that membership. So you got to go.
Oh, man. All right, tomorrow morning, in Jesus' name.
I thought about that when I was taking a shower. I was like, yeah, I should get up and go to the gym in the morning. And I was like, but it's summer.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of reasons to not go to the gym tomorrow.
But we should die to our flesh and do it.
And take it to the gym. Let's do it, man.
We'll see.
I'm feeling motivated. I'm about to cut this podcast, go to the gym right now, and do 10 whole minutes on the elliptical.
I've already took a shower.
Okay.
It's hot outside.
See right there. That's your flesh rising up already.
Yeah, it is.
Already. Nonetheless, right? So we sitting there talking about making and honoring commitments, and one of the things that I see as problematic with this whole walking with Jesus thing is that we've made it so cool and so commonplace to either give lip service commitments or let people slide on not honoring their commitments. And I think that I think that's a factor of us as a society not really honoring commitments in general no more.
Yeah, like
Across the board, if you look at like divorce rates being as high as they are, and even actually slightly higher in the church. If you look at the way people treat just commitments in general, our culture as it pertains to relationships, so many different arenas where you can see that we no longer value commitment. How are we supposed to grow in Christ likeness? How are we supposed to grow in that arena when nobody is really about that commitment life anymore, you know?
I mean, I don't think people try to not value their commitments.
At this point,
I think it depends what it is. Like, okay, so you missed a big point. Well, you didn't miss a big point, but Pastor also talked about like how people are willing to give certain things to God, but they're like, nah, don't go in that room. Like right now.
that's a commitment
Like
issue.
right now, you can't see my closet. Don't go in there. I don't
Yeah.
need you to be in there.
Right.
Not
But
for you.
that's a commitment issue though. When you decide what's okay, that'd be the same as if me and you got married, right?
We are married.
Stop. I'm talking about alternative. Okay. Yes.
You said we were talking about.
Yes. Okay. Me and you got married. Me and you got married. Right. That would be like if I sat there and had my phone with a password that you did not know.
You would die.
Exactly.
In Jesus' name.
But what is that showing? That's showing a lack of commitment, right?
Yeah.
That means there's certain parts of me that I'm not giving you access to.
That means at night I would take your fingerprint and open your phone.
Oh my goodness.
I'd be like
This is unsettling. This is unsettling. You need to understand that.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with stuff like that no more. I'm so glad.
What are you talking about? Stuff like what no more?
Like not trusting people and just like what you smiling at? Like just kind of like dumb things. Like when you be hearing people arguing, I'd be like, man, I'm so glad I'm married.
Hey, that's so real. Though.
I don't want to be single.
That's so real.
I don't even know where to meet nobody at.
But look at that. No, that's real life though. Because when you have genuine commitment to something, it takes a load off you.
A lot. I mean, we got other things going on, but
we do.
But I can feel like the same
it takes a load off of you.
Yeah.
When somebody gives you a commitment and honors that. So when we talk about that whole idea of being living sacrifices to God, right? Making that commitment to Him, like God, you have access to every aspect of my life. There's nothing off limits. Think about all the things that you do not talk to God about because you don't want that conviction in you.
I mean, I don't talk to God because I don't want conviction. I don't talk to God about everything because
no, be all the way
sometimes
real.
I am being real. Like sometimes I get caught up in just the day. Like I get caught up in the stuff, and it's not because I don't want God to be in it. It's just I get caught up with life.
I will be all the way real. There's plenty of things that I don't pray to God about because I don't want to feel guilty about it.
I know. I promise, I've never had that. Like, I'm not going to pray about this. I won't be guilty. I know what I should and shouldn't do. I know the promises I made to God, and I know when I break those promises, I already feel guilty. But I deal with that. But I don't pray about it.
But the thing about that, though, right? When we continue like that cycle, you said, "Oh, I know when I break promises to God." When we remove, like in that picture of being a living sacrifice, when you take the sacrifice off the altar, it's no longer able to be refined by the fire. You understand? So
fire is hot.
Fire is hot. It gets uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, every single time a sacrifice was offered and accepted by the Lord, it's always described as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Like, you know when Labor Day come around, everybody be cooking out. You be like, yo, it smells right out there.
Well, not in my neighborhood. We ain't supposed to be cooking now.
We not. Oh my gosh, you right.
No, I'm just saying. Yes, okay, I understand.
Thank you.
The aroma.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We got the aroma, but that we rob ourselves of that aroma every time we take back. We got like, oh God, not yet, because a lot of times, God, I'm not ready for that yet. We've already made a decision in that moment. When we say not yet, that's choosing not to let God work on something.
No, I'm definitely ready to be skinny.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm definitely ready.
Oh, Jesus.
In Jesus' name.
But, yo, that's food for thought. I want to encourage, if you're listening right now, I want to encourage you to think about areas of your life.
What door have you closed on God?
Yeah, like the same illustration that Pastor Upton used, right? You got guests that come to your house and you close up certain doors. You'll go in there like you funnel traffic a certain way.
Y'all don't go upstairs.
Right, you don't go upstairs. Nothing for you up there. What areas of your life have you closed the door to Jesus on? Like what areas you not letting him in there? And I want to encourage you to think about those areas and maybe consider letting him in there. Maybe consider making that living sacrifice with God, even if it's uncomfortable for me in the moment. Even if the fire gets a little hot, I'm going to let you work on this until it's cleaned up, until it's a pleasing aroma. And I want to encourage y'all to do that because at the end of the day, if you happen to listen to this podcast every single episode and you don't feel the need or the desire to grow or change in some form or fashion, I'm not really doing my job. Because at the end of the day, we love to laugh, we love to observe some things and see how our perspective has been skewed, but we also want our perspective to be transformed.
Yeah. And if there's something you want us to talk about, or if there's something that you have questions about, you can always hit us up.
Hit us up at info@rfxmovement.com.
Or you can slide in the DMs.
Yeah, we on Twitter at RFX Movement, on Instagram at RFX Movement. You can find us on Facebook at RFX Movement. go ahead and subscribe to all that stuff. Hit up our website, rfxmovement.com. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're getting the word of the day over there delivered. But that's actually all the time we got for y'all today.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, you think it's so hot outside because God's trying to make sure we don't go to hell? Like, it's super hot.
Hey, that's food for thought. And we're going to talk about that next week on the i-eXam. We done right after we pray for some people. So, Father God, we thank you so much for being the amazing God that you are. A God who doesn't force anything out of us, but just wants us to be willing to make that living sacrifice. So, Lord, if you would give us the courage and the power to let you into every room of our heart, every room of our life, and make the changes that need to be changed, Lord, we just want to look more like Jesus each and every day. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We'll see y'all next week on the i-eXam. Love each and every one of y'all to the moon and back.
And there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do about it.
Bye.
Bye, Instagram. I don't know how to stop this recording. Done. I don't think it. Nope. Still going. Done. Nope. Didn't do it. Make it. Oh, and yeah.